Hey guys, Tyler with Independence Overland. I just wanted to go over my top 3 things on this build because I recently did the walk around video, and so I wanted to touch base on what my favorite things are, and if I were to do it all over again, what would be my first picks on how I would build out a truck. If I had a limited budget, I could only get a few nice things, and I know I've got a lot of stuff on this truck. It's been an 11-year project, so of course I have accumulated a lot of cool stuff, but if I were to build it all over again and I had to pick certain things, these are what I would choose in which order as I built this thing up. My third favorite upgrade is definitely the awning and tent combo, but the awning, it makes this so much nicer right now. I've got a nice cool breeze. I mean, it's October 2nd. Got a nice cool breeze moving through here, but if you stand out in the sun, it's hot. And so that's a big deal. And the Alucab tent, I know they're expensive, I know they're heavy, but the simplicity of it and being able to pack up camp so fast. If the dog got hurt or bit by a snake or something, I could be packed up and driving down the road in less than 5 minutes if I needed to be, for sure. Flip style tents, they're such a pain in the ass. I do not like those things. Maybe on like a truck bed setup, since it's lower down, they're not as bad. The Equipped One outfitters, the ones that they sell, Easy On are supposed to be pretty quick to set up from what I've read for the flip style ones. But I prefer a hard shell tent. I know it's heavy, I'm top heavy, whatever. It's so nice to have. I have one of the coolest campers ever made, and I miss camping in the Alucab every time I go out with it. I know I got to climb up a ladder. It's a little more of a hassle because of that in the middle of the night if you got to pee or something. It's so convenient to just have camp up there, flip it up, put 2 rods in, put the ladder down, ready to go. I'd say my second favorite thing is my electrical system. I've got the Red Arc and lithium battery. You do need a pretty good battery to run a refrigerator this size, especially if you're running a freezer. I prefer a full electrical system versus a battery, like a Goal Zero type of pack. Those have their place. Don't get me wrong, I like those for photo shoots, video shoots, but as far as building a vehicle, it wouldn't work for me because I use so much electricity and those things charge pretty slow. I like having everything mounted. Right now, the solar is working, charging everything. I didn't have to plug anything in. It's hard mounted, and I just like the way it's set up better. And you can't charge one of those battery packs faster than what you can charge a lithium battery with a Red Arc BC-DC system, or like a Manager 30 or something like that. You just can't do it. Red Arc just came out with one in Australia. I don't know if it's coming here, but it's a battery pack, an all-inclusive battery pack, kind of like the Goal Zero setup. But you can actually charge it with a BC-DC charger, a 50 amp setup. I think actually the charger's built into it. But like if you compare it to like a Goal Zero, I don't know the exact numbers, but you can only charge those at like 5 amps or 10 amps or something. Your cigarette lighter plug. They make kits that are like $200 where you can plug it in and it'll charge a little bit faster. I'd personally rather just build the system out and have it set up like this to where when I drive or if I park, it's just always going. I don't have to mess with anything. Truck's always ready to go. I don't have to think about like, oh, did I plug that in? Did I unplug that? Did I charge the battery? This thing just works. I love the Red Arc system and how it works. But now that I've used the Red Vision in the camper, that is a cool system. That is very cool. That's going into the next truck. Because this is a really nice setup. It was much cheaper than what the truck's gonna have in it. But the truck's gonna be really cool. The way I'm gonna wire that thing up is gonna be awesome. But I just have the charger, the 25 amp charger for this. And I can charge a 50 amp hour battery in a couple of hours of driving, or whenever it's sunny like this, I don't even have to worry about it. It's probably 100% right now. I don't even look at it anymore. I have no idea what it's at. I'm not gonna run out of battery. If this got totaled and I lost all of it, and let's say I didn't get any of my money out of insurance for whatever reason, and I were to build another vehicle, 100% the best upgrade, I think, is the refrigerator. The refrigerators have gotten more popular, of course. They've been around in Australia and stuff forever, and they've been around here for quite some time too. But like with all the different brands and all the different kinds you can get, dual zones, single zones, refrigerators have come a long way, and 100%, this is the best upgrade I think I've done to the vehicle. You could do without the bumpers, you could do without the rock rails, but as far as being out in the desert, having a refrigerator is my #1 for my upgrades. I personally am a Snowmaster fan, and I did a review of the Snowmaster several years ago, and I also upgraded the camper to a big Snowmaster. The camper had a National Luna in it from the factory. I didn't particularly like that one because it's a dual zone with a single lid. I personally use a freezer a lot of the time. So even though it had like a lid, it would frost over and you'd have to chip ice away from it. and that refrigerator is in Celsius, which not hard to figure out. It's just kind of annoying. And I got kind of spoiled by the Snowmasters because they have the remote, and I like having a dual zone, like a true dual zone dual lid. That's just me. I'm sure some people have done just fine with a single lid, but I don't like that. And so for my builds in the future, I plan on keeping with the dual lid. I think you lose a little bit of space, or the refrigerator becomes bigger because there's a separation panel. There's the insulating walls, but I think it's well worth it. Whenever we're stuffing enough food in here to go into the backcountry of Utah for 5 days, and we're not gonna see civilization, we can pack everything in here we need. So this is a good size refrigerator for us. And I think of all the things, the refrigerator, having it on a slide's huge. You don't wanna dig stuff off of it and deal with that, no way. It would not be as convenient. It makes it easy to pull out of here. The Snowmasters have bolt holes on the bottom of them. You can drill out on your fridge slider holes in it, so you can actually bolt your refrigerator down. Something to consider with a refrigerator is just like any of the things. With all your modifications on your vehicle, call the insurance company, tell them what you have, make sure that they have all of that covered under your insurance. If it's bolted down, it's usually covered, especially with like State Farm or some of the big companies. So bolt your refrigerator down, because now it is bolted to the vehicle and it is permanently installed, so it will be covered under insurance. But point being is that I think the refrigerator is probably the single greatest upgrade if you're gonna build an expedition truck. Maybe you don't want the big tires, you don't want the big lift, you don't want the big thing, you're just gonna sleep in the back of your truck. The refrigerator is so worth it compared to a cooler. Coolers suck, and you don't realize it until you get a refrigerator. Yeah, they're expensive. I am pro Snowmaster, but even if you compare, and I said this in my previous video about these a couple years ago, is if you compare the refrigerator brands, these come with the cover, which I don't have on anymore just because it got so dirty. I wanted to try it like this, and I like the look of it. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference as far as cooling goes. Doesn't seem like it so far. It comes with a cover, it comes with a wireless remote. The ARBs have that stuff, but it's an extra cost, and by the time you get to that cost, you're really close to where a Snowmaster's at. The only thing Snowmaster has going against it is their shipping is kind of weird. They ship it to like a facility, like a warehouse, and you got to go pick it up in your local city. So for like us, for me, that's like a 2.5 hour drive to Denver, which is kind of a hassle, but it's worth it to me. I just prefer the Snowmaster refrigerators, having dual zones, having a freezer. I've had this thing, I think, for 3 or 4 years now, and it has been completely flawless. I do a lot of research on all the things that I use because I don't want things that I spend a lot of money on that are gonna fail. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and until next time. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to check out my other adventure, off-road, and overland related content.